gotta figure out a steering solution. I'll show you what I got. This is the frame so far. I've got pretty much everything big welded. Ew, some of these welds are ugly. Got everything pretty much welded up. I don't think I have any weak points, any failure points. As far as twisting and torsion on the steel itself, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know, but it looks good. I have the brackets for the spindles mounted. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put my rack and pinion. This guy. I actually had to take the tie rods and cut them and re-weld them shorter. It'll work for measurement purposes, but I bought some on Amazon that'll actually fit. Should be here in a couple days. This needs to mount somewhere here. I gotta figure out how to use the remaining steel to do so. Now, scoured the internet for some kind of U-bolts or something, or U-brackets to actually mount the pinion, because it has these little areas right here where there's somehow supposed to mount it to the frame. This is the best I got so far. Okay. It'll work. I could probably make something, fabricate something, but I'm lazy. So we'll see if this works. I gotta figure out how to mount this, use these, and then get these attached to the frame somehow. We'll see. That really crazy because they're threaded in two different directions on each end, like opposite. So one of the problems with buying, not buying a kit and buying separate parts is that something like this, right? This is the steering wheel mount. I guess you could call it a spindle. I don't know the proper terms, but then this is a bearing assembly. Basically just a round tube housing, two bearings pushed on this side, and then some C-clips down here. And it retains this piece inside, and it can spin freely. Well, when I arrived, this part arrived, this did not fit in here. It was too thick, so I had to, you can see in here, I had to take it over to the sander and rotate it while I ground it so it would slide in. Heck of a process, but it worked. As far as it comes to the U-joints here, that spin freely, allow you to steer from the top at any angle. This needs shortened because it is way too tall for the go-kart. So I have to cut this and re-weld it shorter. Fun. We'll use the wire wheel to clean up the frame a little bit. So same thing. Squeeze your Allen key. Do your little retaining ring. Take off your cutoff wheel. Grab your wire wheel. See, the wire wheel has a nut on the end. That just screws on to the end here. Now you want to make sure this is tight, right? Grab yourself a good handy wrench. I use Crescent on this because it's easier. Hit your chuck lock. Tighten her down. Safety first. And let's do some maintenance on the frame. if I want to paint this thing, I gotta clean the metal really good, and that means getting all this welding splatter off and whatever's left over remaining from the flux core welding process, like a dust kind of thing. I'm gonna clean that all up. I'm not grinding the welds because functional welds should not be ground. Cosmetic welds can be ground. That means anytime there's pressure on a weld, leave as much material as possible. Anytime it's just for pretty, it's just for looks, you can grind it down, make it smooth, paint it up, make it pretty. I think I'm going to put on the flap disc and take off some of these sharp edges around here where our feet are going to go. I don't want to tear up your shoes or your ankles or anything. So we'll do that next. I don't like Pepsi, but I don't have tea today, so Pepsi it is. That's amazing. The flap disc is amazing. It's taking those angles off. Lickety split. I gotta be careful not to hit my welds. This is amazing. I'm gonna take this. I'm doing vertical view on this camera down here for TikTok and YouTube Shorts and stuff, and the little remote start for it is a pain in the butt. Are these guys up here? These guys on the bumper? That's a cosmetic weld. Alright, let's flip this thing over and see what we can do on the other side. Pain in the butt. Can you see down here? How do people do this? I do have to say, outside of like recording videos of your kids and family and stuff, this stuff is a whole new different level. Like, I have mad respect for content creators and people that have mad respect for content creators and people that do this full time or for a living, because setting up your angles, and I'm not even good at it. But setting up your angles and making sure your camera's in the right spot and making sure you can hear and see and everything's seamless all while you're doing a project is crazy. So I have to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody that's watching my videos and liking my videos, and a couple comments I've gotten. It's been crazy. This is crazy. The editing process, the upload process, dealing with Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everything. It's bananas. So thank you for my views. Thank you, everybody. But I don't know how people do this. But I love making stuff, and I want you to love it too. You know what? The longest process of this whole thing isn't design or fabrication. The longest process has been changing these out. Anytime I need a wire wheel or a flap disc or grinding wheel or a cutoff disc. It's changing it out. I need like 4 different angle grinders and 8 batteries. This is a at-home shop. That seems dumb. Let's not do that. To think about what I want to do with the ends of these tubes, the open ends. I thought about till just now. I know they make little plastic inserts that you can put in there, but who wants that? I don't want rust developing inside the tube any more than it already has. Huh. All right, like I mentioned earlier, I had to shorten the tie rods. They were about yay long when I got them, and I've shortened them that long. They're still a little too long. So I'm gonna take them to the sander and take them down probably a 1/4 inch on each side for each one. We'll see if that works. The steering has turned out to be the hardest part of engineering this thing, because you got angles and Ackerman angles. I didn't even know about that until I started. It keeps you from understeering or oversteering. So I got to figure that out too. There's a lot of ratios and stuff. Not fun. So you have your spindle. These came from Temu at a right angle. And apparently, according to the Ackerman angle, that's not correct. Tell you why. So if the wheels are pointed straight forward, when mounted to your steering solution, right? The angle of your mounting points are supposed to face directly in the center of the middle of your back axle. And right now they're at a right angle, so they go straight back. What I need to have them pointed here. How do I do that? They're already welded on. That's a problem. We'll have to figure that out. All right, so now we got the string down. Terminating at the center of the back axle. Now we just got to find the angle using this cheap Harbor Freight angle finder. No, 110 degrees. Ah! So we're at 90. 90 plus 20, 110. That should be perfect. Let's see what 110 looks like. There's your 90. I guess it goes the other way. There's 110. Yeah? All right. Let's see. All right, what we're gonna do is cut this piece off right here at these welds, clean it up, and then re-weld it at the appropriate angle over here. Got to do that twice. This looks galvanized, so if you know anything about metal working with galvanized steel, it's not good. Gonna have to wear my respirator. See how we did. My bad. That's the piece we cut off, right? That's the angle was at. We're gonna re-weld it up here. I don't know how important the Ackerman angle is on this go-kart, but I know it's important on most go-karts. I have to ride this thing for a little bit. I'm planning on selling it. And I want whoever gets it next to have a quality product. I guess it's like a pride thing. I don't know. Yeah, that one wasn't so good. Alright. We'll take this over to the sander and clean it up. Alright. We're clamped down. Let's try and weld it up. It looks like galvanized steel, so
I'm wearing this. Probably won't help.
all right. Re-welded it at the correct angle. It's ugly, but it's gonna work. The other one worked, but this gap's too big. I'm not a good welder. So far, my amateur welding skills have passed for easy welds, but this gap is too big. There's no way I could do it. I don't know how to set up the machine well enough, and I don't know how to weld well enough. Somebody else could do it, but not me. So we gotta grind down this a little bit. This is impossible. Okay, that's about enough of that.